but I followed Jess's lead. She said in her message, Shabbat message, celebrate the victories at the legislature. So, like, I got several shirts. I thought, oh, this is the one I'll wear.
I love it.
Which is your office?
What's that?
You said you could use her office. Your office?
Oh, yes. I'm so sorry. I'll be back in 1 second.
He wore a shirt with words on it. I read Jess's message. It says celebrate the victories.
It's a good message.
That's a good message too.
Yeah, there's one thing that isn't super well represented in the outline is I'm going to say just a quick word about the Justice Department and the investigation before housekeeping and this intention. So don't be surprised if there's a random rabbi going blah, blah, blah.
But there's always blah 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 before the housekeeping.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. 22. I did your earrings, by the way.
I'm going to run and get myself a glass of water. Do you like anything?
I did that. I'm all set. Next time I'll get two.
Okay, yeah.
And then, yeah, let's get going in a couple minutes. Y'all, we'll get going. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. We'll get going in about 2 minutes. I invite folks who are distant, if you feel comfortable, feel free to come in and make this a little bit of a closer space.
I'm just doing this.
Bunch everybody up.
page 10.
Hang on. An explanation. I'm using the word achol and not achim or achyot because it's gender neutral from the non-binary Hebrew project, whether or not it's Pride Month. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Hine matov u'manayim shever achol gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim shever achol gam yachad. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Shalom Alechem, Assalamu Alaikum. Shalom Alechem, Assalamu Alaikum. Shalom Alechem, Assalamu Alaikum. Shalom Alechem, Assalamu Alaikum. Hine matov u'manayim shever achol gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim shever achol gam yachad. Shever achol gam yachad. Shever achol gam yachad. Shabbat shalom.
Good Shabbos, everyone. Welcome to folks who are in our physical space tonight. Welcome to people in our Makom Minyan, and to those who are on live stream this evening. Is there anyone here who's here for the very, very first time, either in our physical space or on Zoom? A baby is announcing himself. If you're new to the community, I'd love to meet you. Please feel free to come say hi to me after the service. Is there anyone here in our physical space or on Zoom who's here back for the first time in a long time? Ooh, welcome back. My name is Rabbi Joey Glick. I use he, him pronouns as a point of visual access. I have big glasses on and a ponytail in the back. I'm light-skinned and have a big smile on tonight. And I'm joined up here tonight by...
I'm Dennis Guillaume, light-skinned glasses. I'm dressed in black from top to toes, except for my shirt, which says Minnesotans for Paid Family and Medical Leave. Yeah. Celebrating, as we were instructed by our executive director, the victories at the legislature this year.
It was recently my birthday, and one of my favorite... Thank you so much. Bunch of Geminis in the community, I've learned. One of my favorite birthday traditions in my household is we go around and we sing all of the birthday songs that we know about. And near the bottom of my home's depth chart is a birthday song for my partner's grandma's family. And I'm sorry for it, but I'd like to share it tonight. Happy birthday, we love you. Other people know this. Happy birthday, may your dreams come true. When you blow out the candles to light
lights stay aglow. They're the love lights in your eyes where'er you go. Would appear as if I'm the only person under the age of 50 who knows this song, and many people. This is objectively a terrible song. Tapped off by the saccharine lyric, the love lights in your eyes where'er you go. It's a lot, probably too much, and at the same time, it feels like a powerful theology for the act we're about to take on, lighting the Shabbos candles. As we light these candles on page 2, and as we celebrate Dan and Laura and Barry and family and another birthday in our community, we bring all the sparks of this last week, all the endurance and care, all the emotive and spiritual work. We brave together our love lights on page 2. I'd like to welcome up the family. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu Blessed is Barry, who comes to enter the covenant. Baruch haba. In each generation, we reconnect and revitalize our relationship with the sacred and with our people. We find our own unique way of being part of culture and community. In Jewish tradition, all smachot, all Jewish occasions happen over a cup of wine. Wine is a symbol of transformation. Reciting a blessing over wine has the power to sanctify and change. And today we offer the power of that transformation to Barry as we bring him into the covenant of the Jewish people and give Barry his Hebrew name. I'll make the bracha, and then if you all would do the honor of taking a sip. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, barei peri hagafen. I welcome Lauren and Dan and their family to offer blessings.
Hi, everybody. We are just so excited to share this with all of you, our family and friends in the community here. We're obviously over the moon and super excited about this little guy who just stopped crying in time to come up here. He's very accommodating. I just want to say a little something about his name. So his English name is going to be Barry Anton. And Barry, sorry. He's named after my grandfather, whose name was Byron. But we wanted to pick a different B name. So we chose Barry, who was a very good friend of mine who passed away. Still hard to talk about it. And Anton is his maternal grandfather and great-grandfather's middle name. So we're very proud of that one too. Hebrew will be Baruch Avraham. That's it.
I now pass the microphone to the grandparents to continue the train of blessings.
We offer our blessings. May Jewish community and tradition be a source of guidance and direction for you, Barry. May it provide you with morals and values, and through it may you find your own particular and authentic relationship with God and spirituality. May the Jewish community provide you with a safe space in which to explore your world. May the teachings of the Jewish tradition imbue you in kindness, respect for all creation, and a connection to family and history.
And to your cousin Miles.
Barry, we bless you with unconditional love. May you always know that your family cherishes you and values you, not only for your achievements, but because you are a unique and beautiful human whose life we are privileged to share.
Barry, we give you the gift of independence. Let our love and care for you always be healthy and positive, never stifling or possessive. May we always try to respect and appreciate your uniqueness and teach you to respect this in others.
We give you the gift of curiosity. We want to share our love of learning with Barry and help you to appreciate the complicated and magical world into which you have come. We also know you will know injustice and bless you with the courage and wisdom to take part in restoring a broken world to wholeness. Let's do this together. It is said that there are three names by which a person is called: the one they are given at birth, the one in which people call them, and the one they earn for themselves. The Hebrew name that you receive today marks the beginning of your life's journey. May this name be one that serves you well, that connects you to your family and to your culture, and that allows you to discover the name that you will earn for yourself.
So many voices coming into our space. May Barry's family and community find much joy in him, and may his life bring blessing to his family, his friends, to this community, and to our people. I'll say a brief prayer to welcome his name into this space. Eloheinu Elohe Avotenu v'Imotenu Kayam et ha'yeled hazeh laviv u'lemo vayikra shema b'Yisrael Baruch Avraham. Our God and God of our ancestors, sustain this child for his father and his mother. Let him be called, let him cry out in Israel, Baruch Avraham. May this little one, Baruch Avraham, bring transformation to this world. As Baruch Avraham enters into the covenant, so may he enter into a life of learning, of loving relationships and good deeds. Let his name be known in Israel as Baruch Avraham. Dan and Lauren, I invite you to wash Baruch Avraham's hands and feet in a sign of entering into covenant. As we recite a word, a blessing of welcome and binding into relationship with the Jewish people, this washing of the hands and feet bathes you, Baruch Avraham, in living waters, connects you to tradition, and marks this transition for you from the womb into the world. It's a lot, I know. And we say a blessing to mark this. Baruch atah Adonai makor mayim chayim hamechaye nefesh kol chai. We seal with another blessing. I'll say a blessing that's a bit of a lullaby. Might be useful for this moment. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmarecha. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichundecha. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. We'll close with one more bracha, the words of Shehechianu. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman ha. You all, I cannot wait to be joined by you all up on the same bima for this one's bar mitzvah in 12, 13 years. Thank you all so, so much for bringing this child into community. We go from strength to strength and song to song. We'll pick up in our service on page 12. Let's make that. We'll pick up on our service on page 12, number 3 online, the words L'chu Neranena.
L'chu Neranena l'Adonai Tzur Yishenu Nekadma Fanav Betoda Bizmirot Narialo L'chu neranena l'Adonai Naria L'tzur Yishenu Nekadma Fanav Betoda Izmirot Narialo la 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 ya la 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 la
We turn to the next page, 13, number 4 on lines, the words Shir Chadash.
Shiru, Shiru l'Adonai, Shiru Shir Chadash, Shiru l'Adonai, Kol haaretz, Shiru l'Adonai, Shiru Shir Chadash, Shiru l'Adonai, Kol haaretz, sing a new song to God. Sing out all the earth, sing to bless God's name. Lift your voice and sing, sing a new song to God. Sing out all the earth, sing to bless God's name. lift your voice. Shiru, shiru l'Adonai, shiru shir chadash, shiru l'Adonai, kol haaretz, shiru l'Adonai, shiru shir chadash, shiru l'Adonai, kol haaretz. Sing a new song to God. Sing out all the earth, sing to bless God's name. Lift your voice and sing, sing a new song to God. Sing out all the earth, sing to bless God's name. Lift your voice, Bazru miyom yom Yeshuato. Bazru miyom liyom Yeshuato. Bazru miyom liyom Yeshuato. Bazru miyom liyom Yeshuato. Shiru shiru l'Adonai, shiru shir chadash, shiru l'Adonai, kol haaretz, shiru l'Adonai, shiru shir chadash, shiru l'Adonai, kol haaretz.
Last paragraph on that same page. Yismichu Hashamayim on the bottom of page 13.
Yismichu Hashamayim, Yismichu Hashamayim, Yismichu Hashamayim, V'tagel haaretz. Yismichu Hashamayim, Yismichu Hashamayim, Yismichu Hashamayim, V'tagel haaretz. Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, Bumelo. 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 Ya la 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 da da la da la 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 da 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 la da la 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 da 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 la da la 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 da da da. Oh la 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 da 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 la 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 da 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 la la da da da. Oh 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 I am da da da. Oh I da da da. Yismichu Hashamayim, Yismichu Hashamayim, Yismichu Hashamayim, V'tagel haaretz.
We call out on our purple sheets the words on number 1, Ana B'Koach, calling out for all the strength we need just to keep going in a world that can feel so challenging and exhausting. These are the words that we pull on for strength.
Ana B'Koach Gedula Yemincha, Tatir Tzerura, Tatir Tzerura, Kabel Rinat, Rinat Amcha, Sagvenu, Tareinu, No, Anna bekoach gedula yemincha tatir tzerura kabel rinat amcha sagvenu tarenu nora ay 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 oh ay 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 oh ay 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 oh ay 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 ya da 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 ya da 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 do ya da 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 do ya da 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 do ay 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 ho ay ya da 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 ho ay 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 ho ay ya da 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 do ay 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 da 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 do Anna bekoach gedulad yemincha tatir tzerura kabel rinat amcha sagvenu tarenu nora.
We turn to page 20, number 7 online. It's a tradition in this community that during the last words of the song Lecha Dodi, we open up the doors of our space, letting in whatever needs to flow in, and those of us who want to escape out into after months and months of slipping on ice, to go into the sunshine. Anyone who wants to step outside for the last verse is welcome.
Nobody here was traumatized by the winter, huh, Joey?
I loved it.
Lecha Dodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nekabela Lecha Dodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nekabela Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad Ishmi'anu el ha'miuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad L'shem u'tiferet v'liti la 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 Lecha Dodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nekabela Lecha Dodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nekabela Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha Ki hi mekor haberacha Merosh mikedem nesucha Sof ma'aseh b'makshavat chilala Lecha Dodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nekabela Lecha Dodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nekabela Mikdash melech ir melucha Kumi tzeir metocha hafecha רב לך שבט בעמך הבכה, והוא יחמול עלייך חמלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. התנערי מעפר קומי, לבשי בגדי תפארתך עמי, על יד בן ישי בית הלחמי, קרבה אל נפשי, גאלה לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, כי באורך, קומי אורי, שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני, עלייך נגללה, לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לא תבושי ולא תקמי, מה תשתוכחי ומה תהמי, בך יחסו עניי עמי, ונבנתה עיר אל תילה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. ויהודים שיסה שוסייך, ורחקו כל מבלייך, יסיס עלייך אלוהייך, כמסוס קטן על כלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. ימים ושמות תפרוצי, ואת אדוני תריצי, על יד איש בן פרצי, ונשמחה ונגילה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך דודי Nekabela lecha dodi likrat kala p'nei Shabbat nekabela Shalom Malachei HaShalom Malachei Elyon Malachei HaShalom Shalom Malachei HaShalom Malachei Elyon Malachei HaShalom Lecha dodi likrat kala p'nei Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi likrat kala p'nei Shabbat nekabela.
Shabbat shalom, everyone. We'll take the next 4 minutes to talk to each other. If you're looking for quiet outside, or the Oneg Hall is a great place to be. And otherwise, feel free to greet people you know, folks that you don't know as well, and we'll come back together in 4 minutes.
Dodi likrat kala pene Shabbat nekabela lecha Dodi likrat kala pene Shabbat nekabela.
Welcome back, folks. We'll rise in body or spirit, calling ourselves in together to our evening prayer on page 28 with the words of Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. If it's your tradition to stand for the Shema, I invite you to stay standing on page 34, number 9 and 10 online for the Shema. Shema Yisrael. You can be seated. Page 36. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol nevasha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'otecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'eh Asher Anochi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha v'shinatan levanecha v'dibarta b'ham v'shivtecha b'veitecha v'lechtecha v'derech u'shochbecha uv'kumecha Shartan le'yot al yadecha ve'hayu letotafot beinenecha u'tavtaham al mizuzat beitecha u'visharecha le'mahan tizkeruhu va'asitem et kol mitzvotai ve'yitem kedoshim le'lechem Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiyot lechem lelochim Ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem Amen. We turn to page 40, number 11 online.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh, nora tehilo, osefele, nora tehilo, osefele, malchut charahu vanecha bokei ayam lifnei Moshe uMiriam ze'elianu ve'amru Adonai lo leolam va'ed yalai lai 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 Kodesh, Nora Tehilot, Osefele, Nora Tehilot, Osefele.
V'nehemar kifad Adonai et Yaakov, v'golod miyad chatzach mimeinu, Baruch atah Adonai, Yisrael. Many folks here likely know already that the U.S. Justice Department announced today the conclusion of a year-long investigation into racism and ableism in the city of Minneapolis and in the Minneapolis Police Department. The study found systematic prejudice and abuse leading to, amongst other things, the death of George Floyd. The Justice Department entered into a consent decree with the city, which will result, God willing, in greater civil rights oversight of our city and police. In a moment, we'll say the words of Hashkivenu, our prayer for peace and protection. In my prayer tonight, I'm holding both sorrow and gratitude. Sorrow for all the harm that's been done to communities of color and to disabled people in our city, in gratitude for all of the activists, many of whom are in this room, who have kept and continue to keep the pressure on our leaders, the activists who have challenged all of us to imagine a world in which each of us is truly safe. We'll pick up with these words, Hashkivenu, on page 42, number 13 online.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Ufro shalomecha v'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim v'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim.
We'll stand on page 44, number 14 online.
V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם ברית עולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
We'll move in a moment on page 46 into our quiet prayer, into our Amidah. Ironically, we started our quiet prayer by singing our souls out. You'll find the words that we'll sing together on page 46. Adonai, Svatayv Tivtah, Ufiagid, Tehilatecha. Svatayv Tivtah, Ufiagin, Tehilatecha. Adonai, Svatayv Tivtah, Ufiagin, Tehilatecha.
יהיו לרצון עם רפי והגיון ליבי לפניך אדוני צורי וגואלי אדוני צורי וגואלי May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, O God, my rock and my redeemer. Oh, say shalom bimromah, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Oh, say shalom bimromah, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol yoshvei tevel.
We'll take a moment in our service to pray for folks in our life and in our community that are in need of healing. I'll take a look around the room slowly, and as my eyes pass you, feel free to whisper or say the names of people in your life that are in need of strength. We'll then pick up and sing some words of healing that you'll find on the bottom of the first page of the pink sheet, number 2. Today we're praying for when the world is sick, can no one be well? Well, I dreamt we were all beautiful and strong. When the world is sick, can no one be well? Well, I dreamt we were all beautiful and strong. Shabbat Shalom. When I have the privilege to give over Torah in this community, I strive to speak about a message that is deep and that's timely, that speaks to the needs of folks right here. And somehow this week I ended up with a sermon that is primarily about a 3,000-year-old donkey theft, and the story of 72 rabbis typing at 72 typewriters. So not exactly what I was aiming for, but I promise if we spend some time with these donkeys and these typewriters, we're going to arrive at some big questions of how we teach and hold our history. Okay, donkey theft and cover-up. This week, Moses is in a terrible dispute with a segment of his community, led by a troublemaker named Korach. Korach and his friends accused Moses of many things, of using his power unfairly, of hogging prophetic communication with the divine. And deep in this conflict, Moses turns to God and says, Al Tefen, don't pay attention to them. Don't pay attention to Korach and his friends. I didn't take a single donkey from them. Here's the strange thing. Remember how I said that Korach accused Moses of many, many different things? He notably did not accuse Moses of donkey theft. And there's something fishy about Moses's vehement defense against an accusation that no one made. We might compare this to Moshe, to a toddler covered in chocolate crumbs. When his parents walk in, before the parents can even address the broken cookie jar, the toddler Moshe cries out, I definitely did not let the gerbil out of her cage. As I read antique Jewish commentators who fretted over Moses' possible theft of a donkey, I was myself a little bit confused. Who cares if Moses stole a donkey from the biggest jerk in all of the Bible? I only really got it when I entered into the following comparison. I started thinking about how I would feel if I learned that Mr. Rogers stole wages from Daniel the tiger and the other residents of the land of make-believe. I would be devastated. Moshe is the Jewish canon's Mr. Rogers, and it is a big problem if maybe he borderline did something kind of wrong. Okay, so Moses possibly stole a donkey, and this was a low-key scandal in the Jewish world for 1,000 years. But there was good news. The Gentiles wouldn't know about it. The Hebrew Bible was just that. It was Hebrew and difficult for non-Jews to access. But then something dangerous happened. According to the Talmud and Masechet Megillah, King Ptolemy, a Greco-Egyptian monarch, gathered 72 Jewish sages and placed these 72 sages in separate rooms without any preparation or forewarning. Ptolemy ordered each sage to translate the Bible from Hebrew into Greek. What's the deal with 72 sages? Why was Ptolemy striving for accuracy in numbers, or was he trying to trip up his translators who would inevitably create different translations, potentially marking the Bible as less than perfect? Perhaps to avoid this fate, God visited each of the 72 translators and placed wisdom into their heart. And the 72 sages produced perfect, identical Greek translations of the Bible, now known as the Septuagint. These translations were as faithful to the Hebrew text as possible, with a few notable exceptions. One of the examples takes us back to Moses yelling out to God. In the Greek translation, Moses yells out, "Don't pay attention to them. I didn't take a single anything." The donkey, suspicious in its specificity, becomes the significantly less weird anything. Moses comes off as a reasonable leader, defending himself against criticism, and not a donkey thief with a guilty conscience. This translation choice, along with the several other places in which the 72 rabbis' Greek translation differs from the Hebrew text, seem to be geared towards either defending God's or Moses' reputation from a newly wide possible readership of the Bible. Which leads to my final question. How do we write our history? The 72 rabbis of our story show extreme sensitivity and anxiety. They fear that the Gentiles might possibly think less of a Moshe who is tempted to steal a donkey, and thus our whole community. Scholars have a fancy word for this sort of reading. They call it apologetics, defending a version of history, even when the truth might get in the way in order to maintain religious comfort or orthodoxy. And part of me resonates with this approach. In a world today growing with anti-Semitism, there's a part of my brain that's always asking the question that my mom taught me, good for the Jews or bad for the Jews? And I suspect our 72 translators might have been asking the same question. They might have been trying to tell our history in a way that could help keep their community safe. And while part of me gets it, another part of me goes, boy, are we really so paranoid as to think that the Gentiles are going to worry about Moses' dubious history with donkeys? More broadly, I wonder what we lose when we are constantly looking over our shoulder, stretching ourselves and our histories out of a concern of what others might think. But before I dismiss the contribution of our 72 translators, I find myself admiring the next implicit chapter in our story. One, or several, or 72 of those translators must have told or maybe exaggerated their tale. I like to imagine the translators bragging over a Greco-Egyptian beer about their feet. And that bragging over beer about the original Hebrew and the translators who transformed it stuck around for centuries until, eventually, it became recorded in the Babylonian Talmud. And so we, today, get all of these narratives. We get Moses, the selfless leader, Moses, the donkey thief, the 72 saintly translators who perfectly maintained the Hebrew Bible into Greek, and the 72 wily mischief makers who pulled one over on the king. Our history is not pristine. It's not a fairy tale of heroes and villains. It is a multivocal mess filled with terrible discord and miraculous harmony, triumph and anxiety, 6 elders doing their imperfect best to maintain, innovate, and keep safe their Torah. And this is the model of storytelling that I think our tradition calls us into, a storytelling which encourages us to follow tangents and seek out hidden voices, a storytelling that gives us strength and makes us laugh when smoke fills the air and memories of trauma arise, a storytelling that keeps sacred and keeps transforming our past. Shabbat Shalom. We'll bless in these words of Torah and all the songs we've put together. Feel free to cozy up at home on a couch with a cat or a dog, here with a human. You'll find the words of our communal blessing on number 3 on our pink sheets. And Zoom friends, please feel free to get the blessings coming. Malach hagoel oti, Malach hagoel oti mikora. Yivarech et hanarim vayikra behem shemi Vishem avotai Avraham v'Yitzchak v'yigdu la'rov b'kerev haaretz. Yismechem Elohim kesara, kerivka kerachel uchelea, ke'Ephraim v'chi Menashe. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha ve'yichuneka. Yisa Adonai panav elecha ve'yasem lecha shalom. Yiridam v'yadayayayo. May we all not be accused of donkey swiping and feel no need to explain. Blessings of gratitude to the whole staff in the hospital that took such good care of me while I was hospitalized. May our rabbis always be inspired by our sacred texts. May we find inspiration from the stories of our past, even as we embrace its messiness. May we find connections in our stories and bring our own voices as we create new meaning. May we celebrate our wins without growing complacent. May we bless to see our translations as part of the multiple voices of tradition. May we all find the hidden voice to help us tell our stories. May we all be blessed with love and support and care for each other. May we cherish, enjoy, and protect days with breathable air. May we find peace in the hard decisions we have to make. May we bring Olam Haba into being with each breath, action, protest, nap, and kind deed. May we trust in blessing as we bravely metabolize our anger and our fear. Ken yehi ratzon. We'll begin to close out our service, rising in body or spirit on page 284 for the words V'hashavota, 7 lines down. V'hashavota alevavecha Ki Adonai, Adonai, Hu Elohim, V'hashevota, Elevavecha, Ki Shechinah, Hiya Elohim, V'nehemar, V'haya Adonai Lamelech al kol haaretz, Bayom hahu, Yeh Adonai echad. Folks can be seated. In a moment, I'll read the names of folks in our community that have died in the last 30 days or people that we're remembering on the anniversary of their deaths. As I read these names, feel free to raise a hand and share with us just a 1-2 sentence story, bringing some of that person into our space. After I read those names, we'll also pause for a chance for folks to bring any names of people that we don't have down on our list. We'll then turn to our mourner's Kaddish, which you'll find on page 294. Today we're in the Shaloshim, the first 30 days since the death of Elliot Mednick, brother of Stuart. Steve Newman, brother of Jane Newman and brother-in-law of Amy Lang. Eileen Silver, brother of Laura Silver. Kathy Christoffel, beloved member of Shir Tikva. Jane Resch, Thomas, beloved friend and mentor of Lincoln. We're in the yard site for Fred Block, Rabbi Barbara Block's father, Miriam Bromberg, Amy Funk's mother, Miriam Cohn, Jim Cohn's mother, Giselle and Jean Paul Casano, Sego Lacroix's grandparents, Juris Kirkus, Jan C. Kirkus's father and grandfather of artists, May Gepner, Janice Gepner's mother, Rabbi Mordechai Halpern, father of Dan Halpern and Randy Halpern.
Rabbi Halpern was my uncle, and he was the fun uncle. He was the youngest of all the uncles, and he played with the kids when we had families dinners. So I just have such happy, fond memories of him, and it's Dan's father, so just a good, friendly relationship.
Melvin Honig, Daniel Honig's grandfather, Mitzi Kane, Ellen Stetner's mother-in-law, Fred Katz, Gail Katz, James's father, Eva Cranes, Moon Zlotnick's aunt.
My aunt was really a survivor. She was a single parent to her 2 children and outlived both of them. But she never complained and always was in a good mood.
Amy Kritzer, Bert Kritzer's wife and beloved member of Shir Tikva.
Today is exactly 7 years since Amy's passing. And it was not an easy day. Visited the cemetery, but I especially felt her presence as I worked in the wonderful gardens that she created around her home.
Anna Lipkin, Laura Lipkin's grandmother. Molly Farrell McCarthy, Martha Brand and Jerry Rosen's granddaughter. Jacob Peter Musek, Dan Friedman Sheldov's nephew. Julius Miller, Mike Miller's father. Myron Narenstein, Todd Narenstein's father. George Owen, Deborah Owen's father.
My father-in-law died 2 years ago on Flag Day, and he was a very patriotic guy. He was a paratrooper in World War II, and whenever we had family gatherings, there might be like maybe 10, 15 people at the house. He'd always say like, wow, there must have been about 50 people here, but you were all very well behaved, and you're welcome to come back anytime. And anyway, he always made me laugh.
Dr. David Pink, Joel's grandfather. Max Polotnik, Harvey Pearl's father. Rabbi Bernard Raskus, Dave Raskus' father.
I feel honored that I get to speak twice. Actually, my uncle, Rabbi Morty, and my dad have the exact same yahrzeit English and Hebrew date, but 25 years apart. So it's kind of two for a special time. But my father had a great love of Shir Tikva when he retired from being a pulpit rabbi in St. Paul. He started coming to holidays at Shir Tikva and fell in love with Stacy, and back then it was David Harris. And he just really felt part of the community and welcome, and he always had a special place for Shir Tikva in his heart. And he's buried in Mount Olives, Har HaZeitim in Jerusalem, in the same cemetery with his great-grandparents are buried. Well, his grandparents are buried, my great-grandparents. He just had a tremendous lifelong love for Israel and wanted to be there for eternity. So thank you. Oh, one last note. This is the first yard site I've had since COVID that I've been in with the community to say yard site and to say Kaddish, and it's really special to say it with the community rather than in front of a little computer in your kitchen or wherever. It's just more I don't know if it's meaningful, but it's special. So thank you.
Vincent Reyes, Sophia Wood's cousin. Julie.
Vince was kind of a wild guy, and my favorite moment with him is he found out that I liked to drink, to drive fast, and tattoos. And he turns to my dad and he goes, "She's a real Reyes." And my dad just got this face like, "Oh no, oh God."
Robert Resnick, Hirsch Berman's benefactor. Irving Rose, grandfather of Laura Friedman Shaldav and Megan Friedman's. Josh Rosner, beloved member of Shir Tikva. Sandy Rubenstein, Rana Rochelle's aunt. Dolores Salzberger, Ron Salzberger's sister. Irvin Schlaff, Pam Gard's father. Leighton Siegel, Jeff Siegel's father. Sam Slavik, Sarah Malakoff's grandfather. Maxwell Spunt, Michelle Spunt's father. Lloyd White, Erica Sack White's father.
I lost my father 2 years ago on Father's Day. So that day is going to have a lot of difficult meaning for me going forward. But I just wanted to share tonight that I really miss having political discussions with him. I really would love to know what he's thinking about everything going on right now. And I also really miss making music with him and enjoying music with him because he was very much into classical music. So.
Norman Wiener, Barbara S. Wiener's father, and Fred Yesnes' father. Oops, I'm so sorry.
My father was a difficult man, a real severe narcissist, and a hard guy to have as a father. But what I've realized is that I am my father's daughter, and he taught me about anger, which I get to use for doing stuff about it, and I really appreciate him for that.
And Fred Yesnes, father of Dan and grandfather of Forrest. Are there any other names that folks would like to bring forward?
My sister's fifth yahrzeit is this week. She died what seems like yesterday, but it was 5 years ago. And we used to talk every night. We would call each other every night, and I still haven't gotten used to not doing that. But I find that where I talk to her is in the wind, with the garden. And I realized today that that's where I talk to God as well. So I think she's in the same place.
This is the first yahrzeit of our friend and contemporary Jillian Flory, who passed from a bout with brain cancer. And we remember her as a wonderful friend and mother and wife to our friend Mike, and we miss her every day.
It's not the Hebrew date, but my father also died on Father's Day 29 years ago. And he also wasn't exactly the easiest always to have as a dad, but I I think he really admired me, and I became quite a resourceful and intuitive person as a result of having grown up with him.
We lost a nephew, Charles, and May 16th, and he was about Echo's age, and I just remember them running in circles. I just always remember his laughter, and his nickname was Chuckles because he was a pretty funny guy. We'll miss him.
My father and Rebecca and Dan's grandfather, Milton Fishman, died 13 years ago last week. He derived a huge amount of pleasure and pride for being the father of 3 girls. But if he knew he had 2 great-grandsons, that would just top everything.
It's the slow sheen period for Laura McDaniel, who's kind of my mother-in-law. So she just passed 15 days ago.
Is there anyone else? I'll invite folks to turn to page 294, Rise in Body or Spirit. Yitkada v'kadash me rabba be'alma divrach chirute ve'amlich malchute b'chayechon uvyomechon u'chaye dechol beit Yisrael bagala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehesh me rabba mivarach le'olam almei almaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei dekutsha brechu v'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tush bechata v'nechemata damiram be'alma v'yimru amen. Yehe shlama rabba min shemaya V'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru Oseh shalom b'mamav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'yimru Amen. I'll invite up our, I'm honestly not sure, are you still co-president? 2 more weeks, our co-president Amy Funk to read us some announcements.
This is long, so Shabbat Shalom. As Rabbi Joey said, I'm Amy Funk, and I am your co-president for 2 more weeks. So, thank you for being with us tonight. It is such a joy to be together. At the end of the service, please return the prayer books to the usher table, separating the song sheets from the Siddurim. Mazal Tov to Jay Lieberman on his 70th birthday, and to Dan Rubenstein and Lauren Drahosh on the birth of their son, Barry Anton, on June 2nd. Thank you to all who made tonight possible, Rabbi Joey, Gordon, the McComb Minion, David Bailey, Julie Jacobs, and Lori Sweet. Thank you. They haven't. Thank you to our music leader, Dennis Guillaume. Thank you. Thank you so much to Andrea and Jim Rubenstein for sponsoring the Onig this evening in honor of their new grandchild, Barry Anton, who received his Jewish name tonight. This goes on for a page and a half, and I know everyone wants to get to that beautiful Onig table that David set, so I'm going to speed it up. You find all of our Shir Tikva programming updates in our weekly e-news and on our website. We are in Pride Month. We'll be celebrating Pride Shabbat at Shir Tikva next week with Rachel Lipkin and Mindy Benowitz leading. And celebrating with a wider Jewish community at Twin Cities Pride on June 24th and 25th. Registration for JAMI, Shir Tikva's youth education community, is open. You can read up about it and get registered. Everything you need to know is online. There's something for every child from PK to 12th grade. Shir Tikva is hiring. We're looking for bar mitzvah tutors, pre-K and 7th grade teachers to start this summer, and cohort teachers to start this fall. If you're interested, please reach out to Forrest. Next Friday's Shabbat service is mask optional. If that doesn't work for you, please join us on Zoom. A reminder that your community is here to support you, so please reach out to our rabbis if you encounter a life change so they can activate the Shir Tikva network of support. To help with that care, we can always use more volunteers to provide rides to services. If you might be able to help, please talk to Rabbi Joey. Attention families with newborns, there are some here tonight, babies and tots. The next Tot Shabbat is Saturday, August 5th, my birthday. I won't be here. After that, Tot Shabbat does its annual fall transformation as we celebrate the high holidays with our youngest in unique ways. Stay tuned to our high holidays information to learn more about gatherings for our youngest and their families. And this year's high holidays, Tot Shabbat is moving after this year's. It will continue monthly, though starting in November will be the third Shabbat of the month. We will share a poster and Google Calendar with all who wish to be in the Tot loop. And I think he deserves another thank you since it was another. Dennis! Shabbat Shalom.
We'll close with blessing and then with song. You'll find the blessing for wine on page 5. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, barei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit. Ki hu yom techila lemikrae kodesh, zecher letziat Mitzrayim. Ki vanu v'charta, ve'otanu kidashta, in kol hamim. V'shabbat kodshecha, be'ahava uvratzon, hinchaltanu, brucha at shechina, mekadeshet haShabbat. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'tei havon. A great oneg outside. We'll end with song as we transition out there.
Elech hamda libi, 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 Chusena ve'al nati talam, Chusena ve'al nati talam, Chusena ve'al nati talam, Chusena ve'al nati talam, Elech hamda libi, Elech hamda libi, Elech hamda libi, Elech hamda libi. I missed the drum. Shabbat shalom. Oh, Shabbat shalom. So I'm not going to be here next week. We're going to be in Connecticut at services doing songs I don't want to do. Doing songs I stopped.